Fantastic.
Here we go. Hello, everyone. We're so excited to get started with our Smooth Affair masterclass today. It's my first masterclass, so please be kind. My name is Emma Roberts, and I am the social media manager here. And Nichelle, I'll let you introduce yourself.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Again, thank you for joining from all over the world, I see. My name is Nichelle Turner, and I'm the National Makeup Artist and Educator here at Jane. A little bit about my background. I've been a pro makeup artist for 27 years and counting, and I still am a very active working artist. So whenever I get a chance to share some tips and techniques from behind the scenes, I am all for it, because I think everyone should be able to feel like a star when they put their makeup on, even if you are a minimalist or you like full on glam. I think that there is something for everyone. And I absolutely love, love, love this brand. I have been here with Jane for 8 years, and I couldn't be more excited to be here to share my knowledge with you and Miss Emma, right? All right,
Yes,
so
I always love learning from you, Nichelle.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I love it. I love, love, love teaching. I see many of you have found your chat box. Please make sure that you are using your chat box if you have any questions or any concerns. Emma, sidebar, excuse me just for a second. I keep getting people joining a masterclass in Teams. I don't know what that's about. Maybe they got the wrong invite, but Carolyn is one of the people that just popped on. That's what that little ding is. So if you want to send her just a quick little note, or if we want to just keep going, we can send out the recording a little later. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I don't want to
note, but let's keep going for now.
Okay, fantastic. All right. So class objectives, right? We have to have some objectives. So we're going to just kind of briefly discuss the Jane Iredale difference. How can I speak today? Especially for those of you who are new to our brand, or you're kind of in that discovery phase of Jane Iredale and what we're about, and you're maybe wanting to try some things. This is a perfect and a great opportunity for you to do so. We will look at our skincare makeup system. That sounds pretty intense, but I promise you it's still a lot of fun, because again, it's still makeup, but we want to make sure that we look at the skincare aspect of our brand. Why Prime? That's what we're all here for, right? The Smooth Affair family, we will look at that, and we'll talk about the sprays, and that's a little bit of a mystery item for some. And then we also have Q&A. Now, I have some pre-populated questions that I will be answering, but again, if there's anything that's relevant to the content today, please make sure that you type it into your chat box, and we will get to you as soon as we possibly can. All right, Emma, and I believe you will manage the chat box for me.
Yes, I will. And
Okay.
If you have questions, you can put them in either the chat or the Q&A section. It's up to you.
Fantastic. Thank you. All righty. Clean beauty has always been our foundation. Now, this is a direct quote from Jane herself, our matriarch. We celebrate the makeup principles of Jane Iredale that she pioneered in 1994. So we've been doing this for quite some time, right? We always stand on the principles of that clean, skin-loving formula that can deliver the best for you and your skin. So we're not just talking about makeup, folks. We're actually talking about the structure of the skin. Jane Iredale is beauty that can. Jane Iredale has and will always be about what beauty can do. Beauty that can do good for the skin. I absolutely love, love, love this image. And I know a lot of times that I've had people sit in my chair, consumers, clients, family members, there's a concern about using complexion products after a certain age. So that's why I absolutely love this image. All skin tones, all depth of skin, all skin conditions, skin types, whatever your concern is, we are here. Our products are non-irritating, they feel great for the skin. And in fact, many of us have found this brand because other brands have not agreed with their skin, or they've suffered some sort of irritation, or maybe had some skin concerns growing up, because there's a lot of times where I do meet people that are in their 20s or 30s or 40s that said, hey, I've been using this for quite some time. And that's because I've had my dermatologist or my plastic surgeon or my esthetician prescribe this makeup for me. Okay. We formulate with ingredients that are anti-inflammatory, that are calming and soothing for the skin. So much so that I've oftentimes, and this is something that I kind of love to brag about, it's very rare that I see a Jane Iredale complexion consumer go to another brand for complexion products. It's always the inverse. Would you agree, Emma? Like I always,
100%.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
always the opposite. So I love that. And that's why one of the reasons why I'm so passionate about this brand.
Yes. And I will say, if you're coming from social media, hello, thank you for joining. But many of you on social have mentioned in comments or direct messages that you've been using Jane for, in some cases, decades. So that kind of underlines Michelle's point that people, once they find a lot of our complexion products, they don't leave for years and years and years. So I think it speaks for itself.
All right, perfect. Beauty that can restore skin with skin-loving ingredients. And again, this is my favorite part. We combine smart skincare science with powerful natural ingredients. There are not a, I don't know many brands out there that can confidently say that we are a high performance makeup that has been infused with skincare that actually will change the structure of the skin, just like any other topical skincare would. So this just makes me so thrilled. I got a lot of questions about how do I transition from traditional cosmetics to a clean brand such as yours. I also got some questions about pregnancy and makeup and finding products that are non-toxic. Well, here you are, beauty that can perform without harmful toxins. So in our brand, completely from, stitch to stitch, from powder to lip liner to lip gloss to lip treatment, you will never find the following ingredients: no talc, no mineral oil, no synthetic preservatives, no synthetic fragrances, no artificial dyes, no phthalates, and no parabens. Now, I don't know if I do have any fellow California folks in here with me, but phthalates in particular is very important to know. Phthalates is a way that it's used in cosmetics to create viscosity in products. It's a plasticizer. Okay, so it kind of helps things to kind of stick together. And in a lot of cases, also it gives products some movement. Well, beginning 2025, phthalates will no longer be allowed in the state of California. Okay, so that's important for us to know, especially because as we start to see brands change their marketing, change their verbiage, I doubt very highly that they're just changing their formulas just for the state of California. There's gonna be a huge rollout. Again, this was something that Jane kind of had the foresight 27, almost 28, pretty much, yeah, 28 years ago to create a brand without phthalates. Phthalates have been linked to disrupting the endocrine system, and this is something that's been banned in the UK for many, many years. So I'm just proud to say that that's something that, we don't have to worry about. We're in California, so we don't have to worry about, our formula switching. We'll be able to get the same product confidently that we've been using forever. Okay. Any questions or concerns about anything that I've covered thus far?
Nothing about this. We have a question about color matching, but let's save that to the end.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So what in the world is a skincare makeup system, right? This is brilliance from marketing. It's brilliance from our brand, I would say this. But, when I first saw the name, I thought, wow, skincare makeup system. I don't know. If you've been with us for a while, we used to have something called the Power of Three. But really, again, when we look at the breakdown of our products, that infusion of skincare ingredients, those soothing botanicals, those antioxidant, that sun protection, we really are supplying a makeup system that is a skincare makeup system. So we always want to make sure we have the best experience with our makeup application when it comes to Jane Iredale. That's always going to start with our primer. Surprise, surprise. We'll talk about that in just a second. We're going to find the proper foundation or foundations, because you can kind of mix and match whatever you see fit, that's going to address whatever your concern is. that's going to, treat your skin condition, that's going to give you the feeling that you want to feel. It's going to make your skin look the way that you want it to look, right? The proper tools, I can't stress this enough. We have got to make sure that we get into the habit of using our tools when it comes to our makeup application. It's going to give you the best color payoff, it's going to give you the best finish and the smoothest application. And then also, I'm going to touch on the hydration sprays because that question did come up in our pre-populated questions. Which sprays will go, which formula of spray will be best suited for certain skin conditions or types? And because it is part of the skincare makeup system, I will talk about that briefly towards the end. All right, why prime? Okay, few different reasons, and the most important reasons are the ones that I actually pulled. Makeup adherence, okay? Primers, please, please, please let primers do their job. Primers are meant to be that bridge between your skincare and your makeup application. Serums and moisturizers will do their jobs, right? But what about that in between? That's where we start our makeup application with our primer, okay? One analogy that I love to use, and I think it kind of gives you a better visual, is that if you're going to paint a wall, you don't just put a brand new coat of paint on the wall, right? Because whatever is underneath will seep to the surface. So what we do is we prime that wall, we smooth it out, and we prepare it for whatever we're going to do on top. That way, whatever you put on top, it's going to show up in its smoothest and its truest nature. Color, pigment, everything is going to show up at its best when it's been primed. Same thing with your makeup application, okay? So that increases makeup longevity because again, you're creating that lovely foundation for that application. So it's going to give you longer results. It's going to create kind of a kind of more, I don't want to say tacky because I don't want you to feel like it's going to be sticky, but it gives something to for the makeup to adhere to. Evens out skin tone and texture. When I say evens out skin tone and texture, I'm saying immediately and then also with long-term use. We don't forget that smart infusion of those skincare ingredients that you will benefit from long-term use decreases the amount of complexion products needed. So if you are someone who loves makeup, but you don't like to put a whole lot on, this is a great way to ensure that you're going to even out your skin tone and texture so that you'll use less complexion product, right? Because half the work will be done for you. All right, now we're going to jump into the actual formulas and to the Smooth Affair family. Do we have any questions, Emma?
We do. Someone is asking if you prime before or after sunscreen.
So are you using a liquid sunscreen after your moisturizer? Is that what you're, and I'm assuming so I'm just going to say yes. So
Okay.
remember, your primer is going to be that bridge between your skincare and your makeup. So you would use your sun protection and then you put your primer on top of your sun protection. Okay. It's always going to marry the two.
Yes. And then Randy is asking if the products provide sun protection or have SPF. And the primers do not.
Yeah, the primers do not, but our foundations do. Our foundations will give you a full physical UVA and UVB protection. So those are your aging rays and your burning rays. And it also has a 40 minutes water resistant property. So literally you can brush on a little bit of your Powder Me SPF and decide to jump in the pool if you wanted to, and you're still protected for 40 minutes thereafter, okay?
Yes, and this is a good point. So Larissa asked, do you prime before a BB cream or dream tint?
Yes, absolutely. Because again, we're looking for adherence and we're looking for longevity. We're also going to prime the skin for the smoothest application.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good point though, because those aren't necessarily typical foundations.
Mm-hmm.
But my thought is if you're going to spend the time putting the foundation on, why not, make it worth it by using a primer to keep it on all day?
Absolutely, absolutely. Any other questions?
That's it for now.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks, Emma.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's look at our Smooth Affair family. This is what we're known for. This is what we're here for. So our first and our top selling primer, well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of months. I will say, don't know. Smooth Affair Facial Primer and Brightener. We sell one of these every 4 minutes globally, right? So talk about news.
Yeah,
This
no
is our
kidding.
this is a hot selling item, folks. All right. So this is our skin quenching primer that prepares the skin. So again, makeup is going to go on easier. It lasts longer. We highly recommend this one for more of a normal to dry skin type or dehydrated skin. This is going to give a more of a dewy finish and a dewy look to the skin. And typically, if you're more the drier skin, dehydrated, maybe normal with a dry T-zone or dry cheeks, you're lacking that dewiness that you're wanting, right? It's not oily, it's not heavy, it's not greasy. In fact, it's a beautiful makeup of coconut alkanes, and it's a really, really beautiful, more like gel-like texture. Wouldn't you say, Emma? It's very comfortable
Yeah.
with skin. And I know a lot of consumers tend to shy away from primers because of that traditional heavy silicone feel that most primers lend. This again is going to have that coconut alkane in it that's going to give that slip and glide, and it just feels yummy and nourishing on the skin. It's
Yes.
very cooling also. There's also some aloe leaf juice, royal jelly. Those are fantastic for calming inflammation and redness in the skin. Now let's talk about the long-term benefits when it comes to using this primer. We have that grapefruit extract that promotes luminosity and skin radiance. There's also apple extracts. Apples contain an ingredient called malic acid. Malic acid gently exfoliates the skin, and it also helps the skin to maintain elasticity. So it keeps it nice, firm, and tight. And then we have our green and white tea leaf extracts. So those are also anti-aging, and it protects against free radical breakdown. Okay, so pure antioxidant protection as well. I see we have a question. Emma, do you want to grab that for me?
Yes, of course. So the question from Cynthia asks whether the gold container is an old formula. It's the same formula, it's just a different package. So no
Absolutely.
worries there. It's the same good stuff that you know and love. And then we have another question asking if all of these primers are for all skin types. I'll let you answer that, Michelle, but no. And yes.
Yes, yes and no. Well, so you'll notice when we talk about the next two formulas, it's really about the look of the skin. And I have an oilier skin, so I don't want any additional dewiness. Now, remember, everything is non-comedogenic, so it's non-pore clogging. So for me, this is a great method of hydration for my nighttime routine rather than for my makeup routine because I am still pretty oily, especially around here and in the T-zone. So the extra dewiness, not so much for me. Okay. So it really, really, really is about what you want your skin to look like and how you want your skin to behave.
Mhm.
Okay.
And we do have one more question. They want to clarify that if they use the Powder Me SPF dry sunscreen, do you use Smooth Affair before or after?
You would use your Smooth Affair before. Okay, that's why I asked were they using the powder base or a cream base. So if you are using our our Powder Me SPF, that's going to be something that you put on after your primer. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, let's go. All right, and then we have our beautiful Smooth Affair Illuminating Glow. Now this is unequivocally like one of those products that anybody can use. And again, it goes about what do you want your skin to look like? So what this is such a gorgeous radiant pearl finish, great for all skin types. It's going to help to minimize pores, fine lines. It gives skin such a beautiful glowing appearance. Now, I will say this. I hear this, oh my God, if I use something that's really like pearlescent on my skin, or am I going to look shiny? Am I going to look glittery? No, this just gives just this subtle, beautiful, just think of if you take a pearl and you polished it and that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soft radiance that surrounds it, that's what your skin is going to look like. I mean,
great description. It does.
Hey, that's how I feel when I use it. And so we have some great key ingredients. Hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a naturally forming an acid in our body that actually helps us to hold on to moisture. It's found in our joints. It holds up to 1,000 times its weight in hydration, right? Not oil, but hydration, water. The mica is what gives it that beautiful pearl finish. And again, it's not glittery, it's very subtle. It just kind of blurs the look of imperfections in the skin. Shea butter helps to reduce trans epidermal water loss and extends wear. Now, I'm not gonna lie, oily girl, saw shea butter. Oh no, not using that on my face, right? Because I'm thinking shea butter, oh my goodness. Absolutely not. In fact, what it does, it helps to create balance with that trans epidermal water loss that helps you to actually hold on to water rather than adding any excess oil to the skin. So it's amazing. Remember, one thing I want to say, and I can't stress this enough, all of our products are highly concentrated. So less is more. Just remember that. It's easier to add than to take away. That's my tip for today. I may have some more tips. I don't know, but that's
you will. And it's going to be
good. But I will. All right. Any questions about those two formulas before we get into our new mattifying primer?
Let's see. Can you mix the primers or layer them? I find the brightening one seems to give more moisture, but nice to have a pearl finish.
You absolutely can mix them together. I wouldn't layer them. I would just create my own little cocktail.
Yeah. And then we have, let's see, which is the best primer to conceal pores is one question. And then can you outline the process? What is the first, second, and third, etc.?
The process, as far as makeup application?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's get through the mattifying and then we'll say bench that question and then we'll get to it.
Sounds good.
Okay, fantastic. Alrighty, so we have something fantastic, and I'm gonna say, you guys, I have been using this for a year. So finally, me being able to actually speak about it, I'm like, whoo, I can finally, I can't contain myself. So Smooth and Fair Matte Finish, our new Smooth and Fair Mattifying Face Primer. This formula is absolutely amazing. It smooths and mattifies skin instantly. It helps to reduce and balance oil production. There's, it helps it to your skin, there's a battle, especially if you are in places where it's really, really hot right now. So you may start out like nice and fresh and great, but by midday, you're like, oh my God, where in the world is all this oil coming from, right? This is going to help you to fight that shine throughout the day. It's going to give you more balance. And don't forget, with long-term use, it'll really help to balance out oil production, especially if you're over oily, if your pores are overzealous in producing sebum, right? It helps to support skin's elasticity. Again, that nice firmness to the skin. It does not leave the skin greasy. I'm telling you, I absolutely love makeup, but if I can feel it, I do not want it on. I do not want anything I can feel. So, and again, non-comedogenic, so non-pore clogging. I unfortunately still have to wear a mask while I'm working. So, maskne is a real thing, but I'm proud to say there's been no maskne here. None.
Oh, that's great.
Not at all. All right, so the makeup benefits, again, creates that beautiful, smooth, even canvas, minimizes the appearance of pores, and it actually blurs fine lines, anchors makeup for that improved extended wear. Okay, now we're going to talk about ingredients because I know it's really important for us to share ingredients, I think, because we get a lot of questions. Well, why does this do this? Why does this not? So let's look at some key ingredients that I want to share with you. First one is red algae extract. This is going to help to regulate sebum production. This supports the skin's natural oil moisture ratio. So again, it's creating that balance, provides that smooth, visibly matte appearance. That's even if you're not wearing makeup, it's astonishing how I can, wash my face, put my serum, put my moisturizer on, and I'm ready to go. And I still am like, I'm so shiny. I go in my mirror, put my mattifying, it looks like I have on my makeup already because it just smooths everything out so nicely. So again, that shine control. Hibiscus bark extract. Now this is a fun little ingredient, right? Because I think about hibiscus tea. I think about something refreshing, but this is going to help to support skin's elasticity. Again, it's going to prevent water loss. I want to touch on that for just a second. There is a huge misconception with oily skin types that we have to dry our skins out completely. What happens is when you continuously dry the skin out, we lose water, and the skin is actually naturally trying to find a balance, right? So what happens there, you pull all the moisture and all the water of the skin starts to overproduce oil. So we want to make sure that we have some equilibrium when it comes to water and oil in our skin. Promote skin's repair process. So it's going to help with cell turnover. It's going to help to reverse the look of UV damage from all the lights, whether you're on Zoom all day or you're outside in the sun, gives you that more lifted, youthful appearance. And then lastly, we have rose geranium leaf extract. Protects, repairs, again, that damage caused by UV light. I mean, so it's literally reversing hyperpigmentation on the skin that's been caused from, that's been linked to UV light damage. Also a powerful antioxidant, protects it from further damage from free radicals out in the sky, which pretty much as soon as you wake up, they start to eat away at your skin cells. So it's like little Pac-Man. It's like we're coming to attack. We want to hold on, like, right? All right. So again, this is going to be the protective aspect. Let's look at some photos because the visuals speak volumes. All right, look at this before and after. I mean, so first we have before, we have primed, and then after a full makeup application. But I would argue that center picture looks like she just kind of dusted on a little pure pressed base, right? Amazing. And look at this one. This one's very, very impressive, I will say, because this before is me. This all, give me all the shine and grace, right? So again, look at the before, the primed in with full makeup. Her skin looks incredible. All right, so do we have any questions?
We do. So we have someone asking if there are travel or sample sizes available of all three to purchase. We don't have sample sizes available to purchase, but I'm going to put in the chat to contact our beauty advisors, because any advisors, okay, sorry, I was going to try and type and say things at the same time and I just can't do it.
Type and then say.
Yes, we're typed, we're good now.
All right.
But if you want samples, please email our beauty advisors. They will provide you with any samples that we have available for you to try. We also have a question asking if there are any photos on the website of the same skin with no primer and then the 3 primers side by side. I don't believe we have one photo that shows all of those things, but each product page, so there's 3 primers. So on each one of those, you'll see the before and the after. But that's a great idea. We should definitely try and get you that in the future.
I absolutely love that. Maybe we should send a little note to Molly and let her know. So that is it. Whoever suggested that, thank you. That's fantastic.
Yes, definitely. And then we have someone who is asking, is there a matte version more for oily versus dry skin?
Okay, I am so glad that you brought that up. With this formula, what we've chosen to do is to really focus on the look of the skin rather than the skin type. Okay, because much to Emma's point earlier, I don't know if you all were on, why don't you speak about being in New York and your experience, please?
Yes, so I live in Brooklyn, and as I'm sure you may have heard, it gets very humid and hot here. And as someone who doesn't consider myself an oily skinned gal, I would normally say, oh, I don't need a mattifying primer, but living in such a humid, hot place, I just find that I get so shiny when I go throughout my day. So I've been using mattifying just to kind of make my skin look like it normally does. So for me, I wouldn't necessarily consider myself an oily skinned girl, but I still find it super useful and handy to have in my makeup bag.
Great. Thank you for sharing. Any other questions?
So someone is asking, how long do you have to wait after applying primer to put on makeup?
I literally, you guys, I put my primer on and I just go right in with my makeup. There's not really a dry down time with our primers, what I've noticed. And that's the difference between using something that has that really heavy base, whereas something that's really lightweight, in more of a gel-like feel. And in the case of the illuminating primer and this particular formula, it's more of a light lotion feel that it pretty much penetrates on contact. So
yeah, agreed. Let's see. What if we choose primer that does? Okay, so someone is asking, it's so hard to choose. I know, agreed. You don't have to, but if you only want one, and you buy one, because you're asking if it doesn't work, what happens? So if you buy from janeiredale.com, you can return it within 30 days, even if you've tried it. A lot of our partners have similar policies, so we definitely recommend you to shop local by using our location finder on janeiredale.com to find someone near you. And then one last question. Let's see. So let's go back to can you outline the process? So what is first, second, and third?
okay, so you always want to make sure you're going to do your skincare, ending with your moisturizer. And if you are using a cream-based sunscreen, use that. Then you're going to go in with your primer, your foundation of choice, and then your hydration spray to seal the deal. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in between the hydration spray and your foundation application, if you want to put your color on, cheeks, lips, eyes, brows, bronzer, what have you, whatever you're using, you can absolutely do that. And then go ahead and do your hydration spray after that, and you're good to go. You can carry your hydration spray, which is a perfect segue because we're going to talk about hydration sprays really quickly right now. You can carry it in your bag if you want to kind of refresh your makeup throughout the afternoon, or if you need that extra boost of hydration. Or you can just simply, carry your Powder Me SPF, your amazing base, refillable brush, or your Pure Press Compact with you, and just touch up throughout the day without that heavy cakiness. Remember, we have no fillers, we have no binders, we have no talc in any of our formulas. So you can touch up as much as you would like to without that heavy or cakey feel to the skin.
Yes, definitely.
Mhm.
Okay, we have two more questions.
Yes.
So one viewer or visitor or guest,
One friend
is asking what do you use to apply the powder? They say, I have a sponge.
Okay, so we recommend using the handy brush. I do not have one, and I do not want to disappear. But when oh, bless you, Emma, you are so organized.
I'll do the old school YouTube method.
Yes, that is our handy brush. So it's cut perfectly at the top, so you won't get that hole in the middle of your powder, and it picks up the perfect amount of product. Remember, you're going to do a downward motion, or you can simply press it into the skin if you want to increase the coverage. Now, remember, with using our tools, they are vegan friendly, so they tend to pick up a lot of product. So watch your application. No fillers, no binders, highly concentrated, a brush that picks up a lot of product. You want to make sure that you give yourself a little grace when it comes to your application. And then if you want to build, go for it.
Yes, that's a really great point. And the way I build too, which I think is I think you told me this, Nichelle. It's either you or Sean, but was to apply, spritz, wait, and then apply more powder if you want more coverage.
Absolutely. If you want to do that, absolutely you can.
Yeah. Okay. We have another question about primer. So Debbie said, I did see another Jane Iredale webinar with a man demonstrating, and he vigorously rubbed primer into his skin, emphasizing that. Is that necessary?
No, it is not.
Yes. I just apply it like a moisturizer.
Yeah, exactly. I just, squeeze a little. If you want to use a brush, you can use a foundation brush, or you can just simply your nickel size, if that, not even a nickel size, because that's going to take you all the way down to your décolleté. Half of a nickel size, just blend your hands together and just simply put it in. And we want to make sure that we are working down, because remember, we're preparing for makeup. So when you do your skincare and your cleansers, your unroofing, makeup, we always want to work in a downward motion, because that's going to lay everything down nicely. But there's not a need to be kind to your skin. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay.
You're welcome, Debbie. Okay, two more questions.
Okay.
One, they're both brush related. So one is asking, how often should you clean your brushes? And you should definitely answer this, because I do not do what you're supposed to do.
uh, wash your brushes if it's, and I'm assuming that these are individual brushes. We're not going to talk about artistry if you're working on other folks, but individual brushes, please make sure you shampoo your brushes once a week. Gentle hair shampoo, take a little, or you can use the method. The method is very gentle. It's nice. The method soap, I think you can find it at Target. Mix it with a little water to break down the concentration. Put in your hand, swivel around in your hand, rinse it, squeeze it, and lay them flat to dry. Do not let your brushes stand up dry, because what happens is the water gets down, it loosens the bristle and also the glue, and then you have handle bristles in two separate hands, and we don't want that. Lay them flat to dry, hanging over the countertop, because what you want to happen is you want that air to circulate through to give the dryness and to make sure that they really, really get dry, especially the fluffier brushes.
Yes. Okay, so we have another question, but I'll ask the second brush question, which is they have the original animal hair handy brush and it's irritating. So they basically are asking, is the vegan synthetic bristle one softer? And 100%.
100%, yes, it is. I was very nervous because because again, I've been doing this a very long time. So synthetic brushes back in like the 80s, in the early 90s, like when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, these are so itchy, scratchy. So a few years ago when we switched over to vegan, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. And then I got my box and I was like, oh my God, these are luxurious.
They're so luxurious. That's such a great word.
Luxurious.
They're so luxurious.
So soft. And I will say this, no shedding, and they will last you forever. Just make sure you shampoo them for me once a week.
Yeah, don't do what I do. Wash
Please
them once a week. Okay, last question for now.
Yes.
I think it's Chanda. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Hello, ladies. I joined a bit late, so you may have already addressed. Where can I go to experience these products and have them properly applied? Also, are these products vegan?
Okay, so Emma, much to your point, you can go onto our spa salon locator and type in your zip code. It'll give you a listing of all of the partner locations in your area. Most of the line, I would say, is vegan. We do have some carmine present in some of the red-based products, but we are working diligently to kind of reformulate those red-based products so that we do not have to use carmine, and we can safely source a red colorant from somewhere else besides the wing of the beetle.
Yes. And I will say all of our foundations are vegan.
Yes, all of the foundations are vegan. All of our sprays are vegan. All of the only thing that I would say would be a cause for concern for you as a vegan would be maybe a couple of the lipsticks or lip glosses that may contain carmine. We are an open book. You can absolutely click on any product and look at the ingredient list. The ingredient deck is what we call it. Or if you go into the partner location, ask to see a box, flip it over. You can look at every single item or every single ingredient that's in our, and we have a pretty clean deck. We have a minimal amount of ingredients in our products, I'm proud to say, which is
and most of them are pronounceable, which is
yes, you can pronounce them. You don't need like a whole like scientific degree in order to figure out what am I putting on my face and my lips, right?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
That is it for now.
Okay, well, thank you for joining. I'm glad that even if you were late, I'm just glad that you're here. So thank you. Thank you. All right, again, the last step in our skincare makeup system, hydration sprays. Our hydration sprays are so important because what it does, it locks your minerals in. It gives adherence to your makeup and it makes your makeup non-transferable. So that again is extending the longevity of your makeup. Now, remember I said earlier, all of our makeups and our complexion products are breathable. So that allows your skin to breathe and function normally. Now, this is going to be like a weird analogy, but I'm just roll with me just a little bit. It's going to kind of give you this vacuum seal effect on your makeup, but your skin is going to still continue to breathe and function normally. Now, we have our number one selling, which is our Palm Mist, great antioxidant protection. So this could cover all skin types and conditions, okay? So if you're using the Smooth Affair Brightening Primer, if you're using the Illuminating Primer, or if you're using the new mattifying primer, you absolutely can use the Palm Mist. D2O is our fancy dancy gold bottle. This is going to be for someone who is more dry dehydrated. So if you're like, you know what, I'm 100% all about that Smooth Affair brightening primer because I need that extra dewiness to my skin, then you're going to use the D2O spray. D2O also is anti-inflammatory. It has ylang ylang and it also has chamomile. So it's great for redness and calming irritation in the skin as well. If you've had a treatment like a laser, or if you've had some waxing done, you absolutely can use D2O after. That's going to help to calm redness. And then we have our balance. Balance is great for someone who is normal to oily or concerned with acne. There's 3% of green tea and grapefruit extract. Those ingredients are antimicrobial, so it helps to fight acne causing bacteria. Okay. So I'm 100% wanting my skin to be matte. So there's a little bit of a delay. I apologize. My Wi-Fi is like want today. But because I do like my skin more of that matte look, I use Balance in conjunction with my mattifying primer. So this is going to be more of a mattifying spray as well. And then we have our calming lavender, which is the newest. And I don't know, it's been given Palm Mist and D2O a little bit of a run for its money, right? Calming lavender is just that, it's calming. So if you have a highly reactive skin, if you have redness, if you're very sensitive, the calming lavender is going to be your go-to. Also great for post-laser, post-waxing. Now we do use real ingredients, right? So with the lavender in particular, I know that there are a lot of lavender things out there with a very strong, heavy lavender scent. Those are typically a synthetic lavender. We use real lavender. So the scent is very subtle, it's very kind, and it's really, really sweet. It reminds me of the little lavender candies my grandma used to give me when I was a little girl. I don't know. If there's some nostalgia there for me, I don't know. But yeah, so that's going to be your lavender spray. So again, if you are someone who requires a bit more hydration and maybe that dewiness, and you're opting for that brightening primer, which is the very first one we discussed, I would say pair that with the calming lavender and you have a great combination. Okay. Any questions about the sprays?
We do. Let me just make sure I'm getting them all before I ask the questions. So, are the products good for acne prone skin?
Absolutely. All of our products are non-comedogenic. So again, your skin is going to breathe and function normally. I have a lot of people that come to me and they tell me that they they were acneic. They started using our brand as a teenager because of their acne. And this is really, really helped because as long as the skin can breathe and function normally, it can heal properly. Mm-hmm. So non-comedogenic products are the way to go. We don't have any mineral oil, any synthetic or any talc, anything that's going to stop the skin from really functioning normally.
Yes. Okay. So Jennifer is asking if there is a comparison chart of hydration sprays online. There isn't. We do have some social posts that do kind of go through each one, but that's a great idea to add. The way I look at the hydration sprays is that you can use whichever one you want depending on the look you're going for and the skin type that you have. So as Nichelle said, Palm Mist and Calming Lavender are great for all skin types. D2O is great for drier, dehydrated skin types, and Balance is great for oily skin types. But that's a great idea to add to our website. We'll definitely work on a comparison chart.
Yeah, and also if you go on, you can, click each and every one. And again, if you decide to pop in a partner location, all partners are very well versed in the line. So they're able to answer your questions as well. If you want to see them and feel them and smell them up close and personal, I absolutely encourage you to step into a partner location.
Yes, me too, 100%. Okay, so we have someone asking, I have the Liquid Minerals foundation and have oily skin. Sometimes I put the powder over it, but it still comes out oily. Will the mattifying hydration spray help with the issue of oiliness on top of the liquid foundation?
Yes, absolutely. And also just so you know and you're aware of, liquid minerals as a whole is going to be something that's going to be more of a dewy finish. So anytime you put a dewy finish on top of an oilier skin, you're going to create a little bit more dewiness. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a bit more mattifying, then I would opt for just using the Pure Press base alone, or using the Beyond Matte foundation, which also helps to control oil throughout the day. And it's a 3-in-1 primer, foundation, and concealer. So it's really, really great at kind of combating oil and controlling shine. Another option is the Dream Tint. The Dream Tint is oil free. I absolutely love the Dream Tint. I wear it a good portion of my days along with my Pure Press base. So that's also another alternative to liquid minerals.
It also smells divine.
It also smells divine, that bitter orange.
Yes. Okay. So which primer might be best used on, she says, what I call mature skin?
Yes, I love my more seasoned, mature ladies because I'm there, right there with you. It depends. Now, if you are, what's the name? I want to.
Jennifer.
Jennifer. All right, Jennifer. So if you are someone with an aging skin and you have it's visibly textured and it's visibly dry and dehydrated, I would opt for the Smooth Affair brightening formula, because again, it's going to give more dewiness. Now, I have an aging skin, but my skin is still on the oilier side, and I really like more of a mattifying look to my skin. So I opt for the mattifying primer. Okay. So again, if you're visibly dry, if you look in your skin, you're like, oh my gosh, my skin is just so dry looking, then opt for the dewiness in the facial, the facial primer, the brightener, the brightening formula, I should say.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Anything else?
We have 2 more questions, but they're not related to, oh, well, let's ask them.
Okay.
I was going to say they're not related to the sprays. So do you want to go through these questions first? Okay,
yeah.
Let's do that.
Let me go through the pre-populated questions. Congratulations if your question made it. I don't know. So I don't know what happened to my PowerPoint, but anyways, it looks a little quirky, but is this good for combination skin? Again, I think we addressed that. It depends on what you want your skin finish to look like. So if you want to kind of, make sure that your oil and your shininess stays intact throughout the day in the T-zone, absolutely. And does it wear nice with BB cream? We can't stress this enough, especially with our new Glow Time Pro. We've got to make sure we are putting a primer underneath that Glow Time Pro. It just makes the application a lot more smoother. Is this makeup good for mature skin? I think we addressed that, absolutely. Skin-like finish in all of our products, whether it's powder or liquid. No fillers, no binders. So you're going to get the best product for your mature skin without the dullness, without the heaviness or the cakiness. How do you choose which primer and foundation are best for your skin type? I think we kind of covered that a little bit. Again, we have our beauty advisors on hand as well. Please make sure that you contact them and you have a discussion surrounding your skin type. Is there a trick to layering primer with sunscreen? I think we spoke about that. How does the primer work with the mineral powder? Again, it's going to create that smooth base. It's going to create that smooth foundation for your Pure Press base or your amazing base. It gives just that lovely, lovely application that's a lot smoother.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that goes into this next question, actually. So Larissa is saying that I have used Pure Press base for years, and now it sometimes migrates into new wrinkles. Will primer help this?
Yes, absolutely. Because again, it's going to create that smooth surface. Make sure that you're not buffing your powder into the skin. We never want to buff any of our Jane Iredale powder products into the skin, meaning the Pure Press base or the Amazing base, because what happens is you disrupt the way that it's supposed to lay. Our minerals are meant to lay flat on the skin to give that smooth skin-like kind of filtered-like finish. So it's always going to be a downward motion or a press and roll if you're choosing to use a flock sponge to increase the coverage, okay? So, and then your hydration spray also will help with smoothing everything out for you as well.
That's great. I'm just going to read this comment because I love it before we go into other questions.
Okay.
So Laura just posted saying, I love this entire line and have been a user for close to 20 years. As I listen to this video, I'm putting on a full face of Jane Iredale for an event tonight.
Oh my gosh. Well, have fun. I'm sure you will look absolutely gorgeous. If you do happen to take some photos, tag us on Instagram so we can see that pretty face of yours.
Yes, at Jane Iredale. That's true for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok and Twitter. So do it. No excuse, ma'am.
Please do it. Please.
Okay. So we have 2 more questions. We'll ask those and then we can wrap up.
Yes.
So Cynthia is asking how you feel about setting powders.
You can use our Pure Press base or Amazing base as a setting powder.
Yeah.
So
agreed. I do that usually with liquid minerals because it's, sometimes on weekends or something, I'll just use liquid minerals. But if I want a little more coverage, then I use.
Absolutely. I'm such an advocate of using powder over liquids always. So definitely it doesn't have to be a heavy finish. You can just literally take a brush and just lightly dust all over your liquid just to really just kind of seal the deal there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then hang on, one person is asking how we get in touch with an advisor. I'll type now. I can't type and talk at the same time. There we go.
That's okay.
Okay. And then we have one question asking, let's see, how do you choose a color for the new BB cream? I guess she's currently wearing 4, but is getting a little tanner. And she said going up to 5 didn't work. Would it also pair well with the new primer? She said, I'm combo skin.
Absolutely, it will pair well. So if you're not close to a partner location to get color matched, again, because the shades are a bit different than the original Glow Time, please contact the beauty advisors and then they will set up a session with is it the shade finder? It's the educator.
It all works.
Well, shade finder, the shade matcher. Ask me anything about ingredients, I'll tell you all day long. But I'm like, wait, what? What is that?
Yep. Foundation finder.
Yes, the foundation finder. Thank you, Emma.
You're welcome. Yes, foundation finder totally works. And yeah, you can also use either our foundation finder or our location finder, depending on what you'd like to do. And then I love that Yolanda, one of our beauty advisors, just commented saying, contact us for samples. So love that.
Thank you, Yolanda. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right. Well, for those of you who are still on, I'm so excited to say that you have automatically been entered for a giveaway. So one of you will be winning a $250 e-gift card. So we will email you. It's going to be a random drawing. We'll email you and pair you up with one of our amazing beauty advisors so you can get all of the products that we've talked about today on us. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much, Nichelle. I always loved chatting with you and learning from you.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. We are here. We're rooting for you.
We are rooting for you.
We are rooting for you with your applications. Tag us on IG or Facebook or Twitter or TikTok. We want to see those beautiful faces.
Always want to see them. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night or morning or wherever you might be.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.